Hello and welcome to another episode of Brew Your Business, the time when Kim Logsden and I interview a coffee shop owner or someone in the coffee industry. And today is the second Tuesday of the month. So we talk with Jonas from Brazil, which is why you're looking at the country of South America. If you look at the entire world, this is the whole world here. You go south of North America to South America, and we'll zoom in to Brazil. This is what we're going to be talking about and what the internet has to say about coffee in Brazil and what social media is all about with Brazil. So as soon as Jonas and Kim join us, we will add them. I'm waving to you as we speak here, and let's see who is. So Nordine Abuki is our first person to join us today. Thank you for joining us. We are going to be talking about social media and coffee in Brazil. So let me get back here to me. I've invited Jonas to join us. He is going to be joining us. While we're waiting, I'm going to tell you about coffeeprops.com. We are dedicated to helping coffee shop owners, roasters, craft breweries to live and work in a sustainable way. So if you are a coffee shop owner or a roaster, go to coffeeprops.com, click on owners and roasters. Tell us what you feel is your biggest challenge and subscribe so that you can get information from us. Jonas, how you doing, man?
Hi, how are you doing? I'm fine, thank you.
Good. I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad you're here. Kim is on her way as well. And
Cool.
we're talking about, hey, Kim, we're talking
Morning.
about
Hello.
the internet and the social media, the impact on coffee shops or coffee farms in Brazil, right? So
Cool.
what has been the biggest impact, or what is social media to a Brazilian coffee farmer?
Yeah, in Brazil, I think it's even worldwide. It's interesting that how social media, it's something that farmers have in their phones, like Instagram. So it's very easy to deal. The tools is very easy to deal to. So this is helped a lot, mostly small farmers. Because before you need to build a website, you need someone that understand how works a website with all the layers and everything. So social media is something very more easy to use. And then I saw year by year many farmers that are starting their business in the social media before they have some kind of a store or websites to sell stuff. And even big companies are offering some space, like Amazon. In Brazil, we have another one called Shopee and another one called Mercado Livre. So it's kind of virtual stores that you could put your business inside without any kind of complication. So they are selling their beans, they are showing their work on Instagram or Facebook or any kind of social media. So it's very good for them. I think it's a revolution for the coffee farmers that is easy and cheap for them to do that.
So if a coffee farmer connects with somebody on Instagram, is it possible and does it happen where just a simple coffee lover can connect with a farmer directly and get beans shipped to them? Is it that easy?
Yeah, because even the logistics is more easier than before. We still in Brazil have some kind of bureaucracy related to international shipping, which make a little bit complicated than usual is in the United States and Europe. But every year, or let me say every month, I see government and private companies trying to find ways to make that easier, because
Hmm.
logistics is very important for small small sellers. If you want to buy just a pack of coffee, if the pack of coffee have the same costs of
As the shipping.
the shipping, you will not buy it. So all
Or
the
Jonas,
companies are trying to figure out that.
yeah, you have to really love the coffee if you're going to pay more for the shipping than for the
Yeah.
coffee.
Well,
So it's interesting to see companies struggling to do that. How we could make the shipping less expensive in Brazil, or to ship international. So it's to see solution every year is very. I feel very happy about that.
that's really cool. Now I'm monitoring comments, and Calvin Salamone or Salamone said he just served Brazilian from, is it Cerrado Mineiro?
Yeah,
Okay, he just served that as cold brew, and it was fantastic. So
cool.
that's cool. So Brazilian coffee, it is. So the social media is making it more mainstream, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it is
exactly.
revolutionary. Um, what did farmers do prior to social media to get their beans out?
Usually, most of the farmers sell, they bring beans raw to big warehouses, and then they will ship to Europe and the United States. And because of that, the Brazilian stereotype about just huge farmers, it was built because they, outside of Brazil, we before we don't have access to these direct trade farmers that are trying to sell their coffee direct to drinkers or roasters. With social media, what happens is that worldwide, everyone could see how the farmer do their job, if they are familiar or not, if they are organic or not. So the social media approach both sides in a easier way, with no middleman to explain to the, okay, this is a small farmer, so you have to believe what a kind of information you have from a big company. Now farmers could build their own story. They could offer their own product to the farm, to the drinkers.
Right.
So this is very fantastic. So it's kind of a real experience in terms of drinking coffee. So you could go to the Instagram page from a Brazilian coffee farmer, or a Colombian or a Mexican, and then get in touch with them and check where you sell your beans. You sell directly, you have someone in the United States that sell your beans, and then you could buy, and you had a prior contact with the farmer that you are drinking the coffee. It's something that give the drinker a better experience in drinking coffee.
That's right. I'm noticing a lot of people joining, and just to remind everybody, those of you who just joined us, what we're talking about is the social media and internet revolution and its impact on the coffee farmer in in Brazil. And Jonas, um, if you could give advice to a coffee farmer who has not started using social media, are there things that you should stay away from, or things that you would suggest that they definitely do?
Yeah, it's for me. It's the basis to start a business with a different approach in coffee. Even in Brazil, which we have big farmers, even then are starting their own Instagram pages and showing the work in there. Even they already have a very good market because they have the conditions to expand before that. But they saw that people are more interested and go on Instagram sometimes to check that than go to a web page. Because I saw the social media as something more dynamic. There's just a page that usually people do not update with very
Frequent.
oh, forget the word. Yeah, frequent.
Frequent. Yeah, I figured.
So the Instagram, so the farmers, I sent you about a few months ago some Instagram pages of many farmers. So every day they try to update what they are doing. So we're starting to take soil samples, or we start harvesting, or we are receiving people, we are storing coffee or cleaning coffee. So you could saw the process of the coffee that we will drink if you buy that pack in this season. So you saw it's very transparent, very clean to you, what are happening, what you're doing. So for me, it's important no matter what country you are. This is, I think, the future for small farmers to get in touch with their drinkers. So because that means you could sell your coffee with a better price for them, because they knew, they saw, they understand that. So many times they are willing to pay the price for that work that is beyond the coffee pack.
Yeah, that's good. I would add, and Kim, you might have something else to add as well, but if I was a coffee farmer, or if I was to give any advice to coffee farmers for Instagram, is tell your story. So I think a lot of coffee drinkers, coffee lovers, and roasters and coffee shop owners love to hear the stories behind the people who are actually farming and producing the beans. It's one thing to understand the process of what it takes to maintain a farm and harvest and or natural and all that. It's another thing to say, I have 3 kids, our mother and father live with us. We have to walk this far for our groceries, and just getting inside of the story of the life of the farmer is so interesting.
Yeah, Jonas, I feel like the opportunity is to provide a connection with the community, right? So Instagram has allowed the farmers to now connect to their, in Brazil, local small farmer, connect with their community of coffee drinkers in the United States, in Europe, and globally. And so it makes the world feel like a much smaller place.
Right.
And the more I feel like, as like any business owner, and again, especially when you're starting out, where we didn't realize that there were all these small farms behind the big, all the coffee beans that were being imported. And so it's so important to really tell your story and connect with your community, and then to identify like, oh, okay, I want what you're saying, like I want this coffee from this region in Brazil, and me as a US consumer to begin to ask for that. And so my question for you is like, how does that influence like the broker who may be buying either the local farmer's coffee in Brazil or the broker who's buying from the US? Can you explain that? Like, because you still have to get the beans to the US, and the transportation, as you discussed, is still challenging.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I discuss a lot with a group, because small farmers, they organize it in groups to make things easier, because it's very complicated to do everything by themselves. So they have like cooperatives and associations. And I saw some startups that are starting to bring solutions for that. For example, I have 2 beautiful and amazing bags of coffee, and there are roaster in the United States want to buy it, for example. But it's very complicated to me to ship to the roaster these only 2 bags of coffee, because there's a lot of paper, a lot of problem with shipping and logistics. So there are companies now, for not exactly now, but about 1 or 2 years, that are bringing options for that, which are called the shared containers.
Yes.
So we share containers with another coffee farmers, but if each farmer have their own bag, they all like their own label, so the coffee could go to the big warehouse in United States that could receive that container, and then they could distribute to roasters abroad all the United States. So this is a good solution because the farmer don't have to worry about this complication about bureaucracy and shipping.
Right.
It's more cheap than do by plane, which is very expensive. We could do small quantities by plane, but it's very expensive.
Right.
So I think this is a solution that, like a startup, bring to the coffee farmers, to that association that I have some farmers that are members. So I think it's a good solution for that, which is a solution for small farmers. Because even small farmers have more coffee, not just, even if you have a farm with excellent coffee, we have some part is very special, some part is normal, some part it's low quality coffee. So the low quality coffee usually we sell to these big traders because they buy coffee for many farmers in Brazil. They blend to make their standard for coffee, and then they ship everything mixed to United States or Europe. Because in case of this low quality coffee, no matter what they come, we are just talking about some people that are interested in caffeine, not in quality. They want to have a shot in the morning, and for me it's okay if they like the coffee. But in this case, these people usually are not so interested in direct trading or where the coffee comes from. So they still, and I think they will still for a long time buying this coffee, which is important for the farmer too, because it's money that will help them to do whatever. And the specialty coffee, they have a segment for that with this private company that are helping to ship the coffee to United States or in Europe.
Yeah,
Right.
exciting.
That's amazing.
Great.
And you know, when I think about this, Kim, is that a beach behind you?
I am in San Diego, so yeah,
San
that's the
Diego.
Oh,
harbor.
beautiful.
San Diego.
I decided,
So,
I'm on the balcony at the hotel, so I decided to come outside for sunrise.
oh, beautiful. Yeah. Sunrise. And so that is an indication of just how amazing social media is. I am in Ohio, Kim is in San Diego, and Jonas is in Brazil. And here we all are on the same screen. It was effortless to get and to talk. So if
and hear so much about coffee, right?
learning all kinds of stuff about coffee. And so if you are a coffee shop owner, a roaster, a farmer, take advantage of the ease and the simplicity of social media, in particular, Instagram. You could be interviewing, you could be sharing a conversation. Let's say if you're a roaster, share a conversation with the farmer on your Instagram account. Get it out there and let people see who you're getting your beans from. You're a coffee shop owner, do the same thing. So Jonas, thank you again for joining us and sharing your perspective from Brazil. And it's been fascinating to see. It's great to, if you would put some more of the coffee shop owner Instagram pages, like either send them to me or post them on your account. I think what we need is more and more of us coffee drinkers learning more and more about the lives of the coffee farmers. And I think it can happen very simply by just connecting with them on Instagram and developing a relationship.
Exactly. And like you told, it's very easy to do that with no effort. And I saw that people like that connection. It's important to us to connect with something. And if you could connect with something that you love, if you love coffee, it's the farmer will love to connect with you, the roaster, the coffee shop owner. I think the main thing that everything that I do, I always say, I not do for coffee, I do for people. It's for me, it's important. When I go to the coffee farm, I love the people more than coffee, because this connection is, for me, it's magic to see how we could work together and do good things, and everything feel good and have benefits, and everything grow just about to understand each other when
Right.
I connect with the farmer, with the roaster, with the drinker. And I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's the human tasting notes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Kim. Enjoy your San Diego trip, and Jonas, enjoy Brazil today. Thanks again.
Thank you.
We'll talk with you, Jonas, next month, and Kim, I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Okay, we'll see you.
Bye bye, everybody. See ya.